Good evening, Somers, and welcome to the Somers Town Board Work Session of Thursday, October 4th, 2018. If you would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated.
Oh, there you are.
I was here the whole time.
Oh, yeah. How'd I miss you? This is the master.
Okay, our first item of business tonight is to open a public hearing. Patty, if I could have a publishing and posting?
That was published in the town clerk's bulletin board in the Somer Record on September 25th.
Okay, I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And this is a proposed local law to amend Chapter 154 entitled Taxation of the Code of the Town of Somers pursuant to the New York State Constitution Article 9 and New York Municipal Home Rule Law 10 by creating a new Article 10 entitled Real Property Assessment of Converted Condominiums and related sections as they pertain to real property assessment of dwelling units converted to condominiums. Roland, you want to just put that in layman's terms for the public?
Well, this is really prospective
Right.
legislation.
Roland, can you pull that mic a little closer, sir?
What we're doing is that we're reacting to some cases down county where there is a mechanism to convert homeowner associations to condos, and the result is they then can convert the assessment to the more favorable assessment that condos enjoy in New York State. And what this statute says, which is not a new statute, it's just the availability of it has never been on the front burner like it is today. But the statute provides that should a homeowners association decide to do that, they will not be permitted to convert to condominium tax favorable status. They will continue to be assessed as fee simple.
Okay. So the comparison, believe me, I know this from past experience, but the difference between a condominium and fee simple is roughly 50% of what the property would have been
40 to
assessed
50%.
and taxed for. So in essence, what we're doing here tonight with this public hearing is protecting the taxpayer by limiting HOAs from becoming condominiums and
Right.
tax assessments.
Because that loss in tax has to be picked up by everybody else.
Right.
Right.
This would not affect Heritage Hills or anyone else
No.
who's already like that. That's the question you asked the
Absolutely
other
not.
day.
No,
No.
this
So
is
for the
only,
individual, for that homeowner association, those people would like it, but in terms of the overall, because their tax would go down. But as you just said, for the overall welfare of the town, everyone else's goes up for that advantage
Right.
of a few people.
but you have to remember too, that those who are in homeowners associations enjoy the luxury of owning the land under and around their dwelling.
Unlike-
They give that up when they convert to condos. So
Yeah.
it's not without givebacks. And I'm not quite sure how popular it would be, but it has happened several times
Yes,
in
I know one
Larchmont and
town.
Greenberg.
Right, remember, right.
So one thing, though, that is vitally important is that what you're doing tonight only affects the town portion of the tax.
Right.
It is up to the school board to decide to adopt a corresponding resolution. They don't adopt laws, they adopt resolutions. And I had given you an example of one, and hopefully the school board will consider it, because that's 80% of your tax.
So have we
Well, you had
communicated
mentioned
that
that.
to the
Being
school
the
board?
lion's
Lead
share
the
of the
supervisor
taxpayer,
has.
I would think
Right.
they'd give it serious consideration. So, yeah, all that is in play as soon as we close the public hearing and vote on this.
Good.
So, at this point, I'll ask if there's anyone here for public comment.
Just
on
one
the
quick question on
proposed
that,
local law?
as opposed to us, the school district. What's their process? Do they pass a resolution and that's it? It
That's it.
becomes law and then, okay, and they,
Yeah,
It
we would
becomes
pass a
binding
local-
on the schools,
Right.
the schools. Otherwise, you could conceivably end up with two different assessments on the same property.
Would that affect the county as well? So
County,
the
the
county would
county
have to
has
do?
done it too.
Have they done that already?
They've done it.
So this is done at the county level?
I believe so, yes. I think they did it in response to Greenberg.
Okay, and then the fire department.
And
So each one of the
number of other
districts,
municipalities. have
It's not
these.
available to special districts.
not available in special districts,
It's
okay.
only this, it's only municipalities.
So this affects,
School
this
districts.
essentially adjusts the zoning. This is this is zoning code.
No.
It's not.
This is the taxation chapter in your code book.
So let's say an individual homeowners association comes before the board and requests that, a change.
They don't need your permission.
But now they
Now,
can't, but after
but
this,
now-
they-
after-
They've never
this-
needed your permission.
But when you do this,
They never needed your permission. The process was an HOA decides to do it,
right,
and they
Petition the
file a certificate of condominium
Right.
with the county clerk, and they apply to the Attorney General for approval. Now, the source of litigation in Greenberg right now is Greenberg, the town board, caught on to what this particular HOA was doing when they filed their certificate of condominium. And Greenberg has taken the position, okay, you might have done that, but you don't have AG approval. And since you don't have AG approval, we're going to adopt this local law and prevent you from enjoying that favorable tax status.
yes.
That case hasn't been decided yet. So we don't know if it's the filing with the county clerk or it's the filing with the AG and AG subsequent approval, which controls when you're a condo.
So my question
But they
is,
do not need to come near a town board.
so once we adopt this, though, my question is, can they come before a town board and ask for an exemption in any way?
No, there is no.
There's no
There is
exemptions?
no exemption.
Okay,
No, you'd have to rescind the law.
got it, okay, so.
Yep.
Okay, I'll repeat my call for public comments. Seeing and hearing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Okay, and furthermore, I'll make a motion to approve the local law to amend Chapter 154.
Second.
First, you need to do a neg deck.
Okay. Make a motion to declare negative seeker declaration.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. And then make a motion to adopt a local law to amend Chapter 154.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay, and Patty, so we're gonna, the resolution we need to send, Roland, along with our sample to the school system.
Correct.
So they, now that we've moved on this, they can, like,
And their attorney is very familiar with this.
yeah, well, yeah, this has been in the works all summer.
Yep.
Okay, our next item is a discussion of the request for proposals that were, excuse me?
Oh, you asked for public comment? huh?
Oh,
He did.
No,
what?
you asked for public comment on the public hearing, you didn't ask for
Oh,
public comment.
you're right,
in general.
I'm, oh, yeah, Paul, I keep,
Gotta make the
we
box
passed it.
bigger.
yes, okay. So I'll make a motion to open public comment.
Second.
So all in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Is there anyone here for public comment? This could be on any topic that comes to
sun.
mind. The rooster's crowing, if it crows, it goes. Okay, the weather,
Don't make light of
okay.
it.
Hearing or seeing,
Make a motion, no more
no one
rain
here
for
for
the rest
public
of
comment. I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. I keep giving that up. At this point in time, I'd like to invite members of the co-chair of the Energy and Environment Committee, and Frank up to the desk here. We're going to be discussing the RFPs we've received for energy audit of the town buildings and facilities. So, gentlemen, you've told us we have two entities that responded to our request for proposals. Do you have recommendations for the board to consider?
Well, you know, and maybe you could tell us, what is it that you've been looking to do? What are these companies looking to do for us?
Well, basically, they're gonna take a look and evaluate all your equipment, your mechanicals, all your heating and cooling, building envelopes and try their best to reduce the energy consumption and give you the improvements for comfort and longevity of your mechanicals. The good thing is they're both reputable companies. You can't go wrong with either one of them. So,
Is it restricted to
And-
just the mechanicals, or does it also include insulation?
yeah, insulation, anything to do with the building performance.
Yeah.
So it'll tightening the envelope, whatever the scope of work is, I'll have a list of recommendations. Then we'll get to evaluate them again. If anything doesn't make sense, then we'll ask them, we'll question them at that point. So that'll be the next step after they get.
Okay, I don't know if you want to go through your memo, or, so people know what we're talking about, and then we can answer questions after you sort of highlight it for them.
All right, so, yeah, why don't I just preface the conversation by saying, in an effort to be more efficient, energy efficient, certainly in our big buildings and our facilities, and the fact that we are NYSERDA certified clean energy municipality, your board came to us, your committee came to us and said, why don't we do an energy audit of our buildings? Maybe we can be doing things differently or better, save taxpayer dollars, and we're all about saving taxpayer dollars. So we went out for proposals for companies to come in and go through our electric bills, our different equipment that we have, our oil burners, our air handlers, anything that generates or needs energy to run. And normally someone would say, what's it gonna cost us? To have someone come in and do work, if I pay an auditor every year to come in and do our auditing of the town. But in this situation, it's a little different. So maybe that's where our discussion could come in. First of all, what are these both agencies gonna do for us? And what's the difference between them?
Right. So these are energy performance contracts. You're only going to pay for the savings that are generated. And basically, they're going to structure the contract so you'll be revenue neutral. So whatever you're paying now most likely is what you'll be paying over the course of the term. You'll basically be getting the equipment, the upgrades done for free. So your whatever your utility charges are currently, you're most likely paying the same. So that's how they structure it, and then over the course of years to make it whole. If there's any bonuses, if there's any excess savings, which they're always going to be trying to accomplish, then they will share that with you. There were some questions. Johnson Controls is a little different on Honeywell. I mean, you're splitting hairs as far as how that extra savings may.
Well, that was one of my main questions.
Right.
The two that we're looking at are Honeywell and Johnson Controls. And in your memo, and maybe we've gotten clarification on this, but I'll just read it. It said, it seems with Honeywell, any surplus savings in a calendar year belongs to town, and any year's shortfall from projections will be paid by Honeywell. Okay? In contrast, Johnson says any year's shortfall will first be covered by any preceding year's surplus. So if I understand that correctly, if we save $10,000 this year, that's great. If next year it's $5,000 under Johnson, we'd have to pay $5,000 because we had a $10,000 savings, whereas under Honeywell, they pay the $5,000.
That's the way we understood it to be, correct?
So I'd like to get clarification on that. I'd also like to get clarification, is it cumulative or only current? I think that's a very important thing. Because if you save $10,000 now, and then next year it's $5,000, and then the following year it's $5,000, is it, do we lose any savings that we've had? But even with that, I know that ultimately you were leaning towards Johnson Controls. And all things being equal, which is what I sort of read here, that everything else was equal, I would think that in my case, I would go with the company that you're never going to have to pay back from your surplus. So is there, are there other changes?
Are we missing something?
Well,
on there?
we're missing, Jerry was going to look at to see what that exact shortfall was, because it wasn't clear. And that
Okay.
was in the note there. It wasn't, 100% whether or not. Our reading of it, had been the way I looked at the contract is Honeywell seemed a little more cookie cutter to Johnson Controls, where their terms were generally in the 18 years ironclad, so they extended more. When you look at the Johnson Controls, you saw a lot of 15-year contracts, so the payback is different. So, and it just seemed a little more organic as far as the way we looked at it. It just seemed like a more user-friendly approach as far as
And I get that, I guess, I just want to know, you know, again, the big questions before I would make any decision would be the payback. The payback is what gets me, is that
Yeah.
if we have to pay them back because they don't meet what they're saying they're gonna meet, any savings we get one year could disappear the
Right.
next year. Whereas
Right.
with the other one, it appears that savings are in our pocket and then they cover moving forward. So again, just reading this without any other information, I would lean more towards Honeywell.
Yeah.
But
Based
again, I
on-
don't have the actual,
We,
So I would do two things. I would first ask them, you know, how smooth do these run? And maybe ask them for somebody they're dealing with. You can get in each one case and say, how's this worked for you? Have you run into any problems?
Right. Well, unfortunately, Jerry was supposed to be running that, and that's why they said, I looked at the two
Got it.
proposals, and I said, I like Johnson better, and we all seem
I
to.
like it too, yeah.
And Jerry was
We must carry on, though.
yeah, we
No,
must
mind
carry
these
on.
proposals were, you know, like this fat and
Yeah,
large.
yeah, it should be, it's not the first time we've done this,
Right.
as you
I
know.
know, right.
Johnson Controls came to us, you might remember we were on the
With your
board in
boilers, yeah.
2011 or 2013. This is right after they had, now, it's a huge company. I'd seen them
Both
down
are.
in New York City, both are, right?
Yeah.
Johnson Controls had just redone the Empire State Building without closing the building, doing all these. That was their big, one of their claims to fame. They came here, they looked at all of our facilities, because the guarantee is you will never pay more than what you're paying now.
Right.
The savings in your energy will be used to pay off the things
Financing.
that we're gonna do, right? Those are good contracts. At that time, and I think I gave you the report from that time, they said it wasn't worth it. You can't save enough for what we're gonna do. So, to come back and revisit it as I forget who said it, Jerry said or somebody said, you know, technology's changed, it might become more efficient. Maybe it will be worth it now. And so to have one or the other take a look at our facilities with new technology, can we now save enough money that we can invest in these new technologies and never pay more than what we're paying now? But generally, that is the guarantee. Now, whether they take it from the past year or future years on that, that's the guarantee that they all kind of give.
So-
And there was a
and I
third
think we all
company,
agree
too.
on the concept. I mean, I think it's great that you reached out and you did this. I guess I'm just trying to turn sort of the bottom line of.
It's getting down to the implementation aspect.
Right.
Yeah,
The big question is, do you have enough savings to offset?
Right.
That's the question, like, there was
And
one.
that's what they're gonna tell us.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
they-
you
what they
signed
will
the
do-
contract
they're
and
not
you
gonna-
never pay more.
They're not
But you
gonna-
have to save money. That's the
Can-
contract.
Let me just step back for a second, just from a cash flow administrative point of view. They're gonna put a contract, so, as an example, they'll put in a piece of equipment that needs electricity to run, right? It's gonna be more efficient, so there'll be lower electric bills. Who do we pay our electric bill to, and who administrates, you know,
Well, they measure and verify
They
the
me-
savings.
okay.
There's an international protocol that they use, and they have to abide by those protocols to, you know, the occupancy, weather normal data and all that kind of stuff. So they're gonna verify, because if you have a hot year versus a cold year, obviously the savings
Sure.
will be different.
so they'll
they-
meter it
Yeah,
and then give you some sort of a report?
and then they weather normalize it, and they say, this is what the savings were now,
Right.
this is what they've been if had we done nothing.
Right,
And that's how they create that. This is a standard contract.
Right.
You saw all the proposals that they've done. My only thing about the Honeywell is, like I said before, they're like always 18 years. Where you look at Johnson Control, I saw a lot of 15 years. So there's a lot of ways of gaming it. So,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
maybe
so-
one way is with the rebates. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with either. It's, you know, who you feel more comfortable with. And they're both reputable companies, and I would base it on how we feel they did with the boilers a few years ago.
Yes, we did work with them, right. Did you come across a fellow who was doing it at the time, our contact, when we didn't take the whole? We did some work to replace some things, right, with Johnson, but we didn't, it wasn't worth it to do the whole proposal, they said,
Right.
for the town building, so it wouldn't save money. Ahmed Ibrahim, is he the guy who's still in charge of that? Do you happen to know? He was the one we were in contact with constantly. What was
I believe I did see his name on the proposal, yeah.
Honeywell
Okay.
came and had a couple people, we
we
sat
met
there
with
with a
them,
presentation
yeah.
for that, but we didn't sit with
Ahmed,
Johnson, as
he's
far as I
with
know.
Johnson,
Right.
yeah.
And I did see,
He was a
I
good
believe
guy.
I saw his name in
Okay.
the proposal.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah,
So he would know our buildings, he knows the path,
Yeah.
he was up here, so.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that they're better, I'm just saying that,
no, I mean, they're two very highly reputable companies. They-
So,
Of course.
of course, if Johnson Controls was here a few years ago,
right.
came through, took a look and said,
We can't-
there's not enough here for us
There's
to
not.
What changed?
What if,
What's
what if we choose them, yeah, what's changed, and even if we sign a contract
Well, it
with
doesn't
them-
mean either one of those companies can find enough, because we have done upgrades in a variety of
We have.
No,
things.
Yep.
But
well,
the
okay, is there a
technology,
possibility that you sign with one, and they?
you don't sign until you know what you're gonna save.
Right.
You don't sign it until it comes to you, here's what we can do,
This is
here's
the-
how much you save, this is what's gonna,
So
you
they-
don't sign
so-
until they've done it.
Johnson Controls could repeat what happened 5 years ago.
They
Say,
might.
Sounds like.
we did this, but we can't get,
We can't get the savings.
They might,
enough
it's
savings.
still not
Okay.
enough.
Well, the two
So,
things,
thank you
are
very much.
technology
We
has
don't-
gone down in
Right.
cost greatly in the last 5 years. There's been so
That's-
many advancements
that's
and
the
the price
thought.
has gone down
But
dramatically.
that's the interesting thing with
what about
right,
Johnson.
that aside.
The interesting thing with Johnson is, again, we saw what they did last year, so that's with them, if they come back in and they find savings, it's good to say, okay, well, what changed from the last time you were here? So it's a little bit more institutional knowledge.
So we
that they might
need
have.
a little more clarity on these two RFPs before we make a decision to,
Based on what they're saying here, I mean, I'd like to know if it's cumulative or only current year,
Yeah.
just because that could make a big difference.
Yes, that
That's
should
the
be,
main thing
should
I'd
be
like to know.
clarified for sure.
You know, once that gets some clarity to it, again, based on having gone with Johnson Control a few years ago, I could back your recommendation to go with them again. Again, since you've seen the two RFPs, you know, I trust your guy, you guys always do a great
Yeah.
job.
So what's the risk to us? I mean, if they invest in
I don't
infrastructure
think there's any-
and they don't
There's no
gain the
there's
savings.
no financial risk, it's just,
Right, because
the
that's,
terms may, one contract may be 18 years, one might be 15 years.
Right.
Right.
But you get all the equipment at no cost, the energy savings pay for the upgrades, and this installation, boilers,
So
cooling,
you buy the
whatever.
equipment from them, the maintenance contracts go to them automatically?
Maintenance is separate.
Separate, not?
Yeah, they'll negotiate, those are separate as far as they're concerned, that's a
All right.
separate item.
Okay.
You can do, they're new, you really shouldn't need much maintenance in the beginning.
Yeah,
15
hope
years.
so.
You're right.
What if it's a 15-year
Well, here,
commitment?
actually, my other question was just, and maybe it was just left out, the buildings that we talked about. We're talking about the annex, the highway garage, recreation center, townhouse. Oh, okay, never mind. Recreation center is the Van Tassel. I was gonna ask about
Yeah.
Van Tassel, but I always call it Van Tassel, not recreation center. And we might wanna throw the water department in there also, just because it is a building in the town.
chickens.
Town, I don't see them on the, but they're not, they might be in there, but they're not on the memo, so just to make sure.
Okay.
Good.
Let me just say this is a huge amount of work. I get it, going through all these contracts and teeing this up and going back to them and getting the i's and the t's dotted. I tip my hat to you guys. Really appreciate it.
No, you do a great job.
Well, I certainly volunteered to be involved with this, as I was on the last
On the
one,
last
as you
one?
know,
Yeah.
so we're getting a little short of help on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Committee, so
Yeah,
I'll be
had a-
happy to
Well, if
take part.
if you think, just doing the rough math, you think you'd have to generate a significant yearly savings to pay, I don't know what the number would be, $500,000 or something. So I think lighting might be an issue, like, because of the upgrades in lighting and how you get big energy savings if you can find ways to change certain lights. And if you're at the end of your life of some of your current, more old technology mechanicals, some of the bigger ticket items might help do that.
Well, that's
But you're
what-
right, they're not gonna even step into this unless they know
Oh,
they
sure.
can,
Right.
they can guarantee those savings to
Right.
do it, so.
But
Here's-
these are
here's a
like
30-year
10,
contract
15-year
for you.
How many year commitments is this? 15 years, you said?
And I think there's a limit to how, maybe 30 years you could do
20
longer.
No one will go beyond 20.
20,
That-
that's
that's-
the most.
But
That
they're
would happen.
accumulating savings over 20,
Right.
Could,
minimum.
the contract might be 10 years, could be 15
Yeah,
years.
they know how to figure the numbers, they know how to make it work.
Taking a lot of actuaries.
Yeah. But the important thing for the town is, the maintenance savings, the comfort, all those types of things. I mean, you're gonna save a lot on maintenance and problems and things like that.
Well, it's like the Energize program for homeowners here. You save money, you have more comfortable home, and the upgrades theoretically are lasting
Right.
a long time in your house, probably longer than I'll be in my house. Those upgrades will
Yep.
last. So it's a similar thing you're talking about for towns.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. If you can get that one question answered,
Well-
just to,
I'll see if we can drill down and clear that
Right,
up.
well, I'm gonna just recommend, if you gentlemen get that clarity for us, and
put on.
shoot me an email or a memo, then we'll put it on next week's agenda, and we can just
Act on it.
Okay,
move on it.
You got it.
sounds good.
Did you Did you speak with Bob Keough about another, you know Bob Neiman, right?
Yes,
Yes.
right.
And he came, spoke with Bob Keough and myself.
Who is he with?
He's with one of those, neither one of those, but
Could be
he-
Johnson, actually.
No,
It's not Johnson?
no, because he had
I saw that.
a different one, but I didn't know if you had looked and evaluated that.
We only got
It was-
two.
Okay, you
We
don't.
only
We
got
only
two
saw
that
two.
came back.
We know
right.
the third was chosen, but they never submitted for whatever reason.
Right.
Oh, okay, good. So you looked at the
Right.
two that you,
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that's
it.
my question.
I did see that name, though, right. Yeah.
thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for all you do.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Need to get you some more members.
Well, then we have troubles with quorums, so.
Good point. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Get three, you only need two.
Yeah.
Never thought about
That's
that.
sad but true. All right, the next item or agenda is to authorize the supervisor to execute the Justice Court Assistance Program, JCAP, grant in the amount of $16,112 for the Somers Justice Court per memo from Barbara Lloyd, Court Clerk, dated September 28th.
Just a quick question on that. When you say execute the grant, does that mean we're requesting the money, or we've received the money and we just accept the money?
The grant application.
It's just the application.
Right. Barbara's been very successful in, yeah, I was gonna say, she's very successful with getting these grants. And frankly, this is, I've offered our grant writers services, but she's had such a good track record generating these.
I was gonna ask that.
She, I've encouraged her to continue to do these.
Good.
So, make a motion to authorize the execution of the court assistance grant
Second?
application. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Okay, so personnel, openings on various boards. I will make a plea, although it's not on here, for the Somers Energy and Environment Committee. We've had some recent resignations for personal reasons, not because they didn't enjoy the work. And as you can hear tonight, this committee is still very active in energy conservation, which ultimately saves people money. So we're all about doing that. So come on out, volunteer for any one of these boards and committees. I'd like to acknowledge the resignation of Michael Papa as a member of the Somers Parks and Recreation Board, effective September 4th. Michael was not on the board very long, but he was highly recommended, and once again, I guess for personal reasons, he had to resign that position. So we thank you for the time you did spend with us, Michael, and thanks for your service. And acknowledge the resignation of Jerry Stern as a member and co-chairman of the Somers Energy Environment Committee, effective September 27th. Now, once again, Jerry has other obligations that may be short-lived, and would like to be considered to come back onto the committee. So he's a valued member, obviously, and we'd welcome him back anytime. Authorize the reappointment of Frederick Pease to the Somers Assessment Board of Review to a 5-year term ending September 30th, 2023. Patty, are we gonna move those to CA? Okay. That'll be moved to the consensus agenda. And then authorize the hiring of the building inspector in the town of Somers, retroactive to October 1st, after going through the interview process. The board has selected Thomas Tuma to serve as the town of Somers building inspector. And I will make a motion to make that appointment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Congratulations, Tommy.
Very much.
We have to put a salary in there? We have to put a salary in
Yes,
this?
I do have it, I just have to get to it.
88.
Well, they're gonna
And
be
here it
exact.
This would be $88,137, grade 8, step 10.
You almost made it.
So we wish Tom good luck, and, yeah, he's got, hopefully we'll be doing a few hires in that department pretty soon, because we're pretty thin over there. Okay,
Pretty straightforward consensus agenda.
yeah, any questions on the proposed consensus?
Oh,
On number 4, does he have any dates on that?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, it's on the application.
Yeah, I'll show you. Let me see
Oh,
what it is.
okay.
Well, yeah, it should
All
be,
right. Oh, it's there.
should be in your Dropbox.
Okay,
September 1st to Jan.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's what I thought. It was on the application.
okay. That's fine, thank you.
Okay. Okay, well, pay attention all, because our next meeting, October 11th, 7 PM, will be held at the Crystal Hall Somers Community Center over in Shenock. In store for us next week will be, we're going to get a presentation from Dick Lyman about the Domestic Violence Center. We'll get a status report. As you know, Town of Somers committed itself to $5,000 over, for each of 2 years to get this center up and operating. It serves northern Westchester, men and women who are involved with domestic violence. So he's going to come and give us an overview. We're going to have Joe Barbagallo, once again, there to talk about the stormwater project and the potential sewering of portions of Shenock. And then we're going to have the police chief and the water superintendent there on hand to answer questions regarding some community issues that have been brought to my attention. So we're taking town board on a road show next week. Roland, we'll make sure you have directions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be driving around for a long
Yeah.
time.
you can get lost.
Because I understand Google Maps gets people confused, so.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back into very active season of things happening in the fair town of Somers. So let me hand out a few of these.
Either use a different name. But, you know, it gets its point across.
I guess so.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'll start off with, once again, the
I'm not getting.
New York Blood Center has experiencing emergencies. For more information where you can donate, how to set up your own drive, there are many drives happening throughout the area. We don't have one specifically set up for here. Our last blood donation that we did have here, we broke all records. So if people do want to donate, and please continue to do so, because as you know, blood donations save lives. For more information where to go to donate, call 1-800-933-2566. All this information will be posted on our website as well. So let's start number 2 with the Somers Fall Cleanup. Who has that one?
The bulk refuse?
I do.
Oh.
All right, so the Somers Annual Fall Townwide Cleanup, Saturday, September 22nd, Thursday, and Thursday, November 1st, 2018. The official orange garbage or trash bags and gloves are available at the Somers Townhouse, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30, or call 914-277-3637. Also, the Somers Library for I guess they're saying here, what, Sober's Light, call 914-232-5717.
Pick up bags.
So you can pick up bags and gloves there. Volunteers needed, we want you to sign up at www.somers.com, all
So
right?
when you see those orange bags scattered along the sides of the road, the town highway department and the New York State DOT will be picking those up. So pick up orange bags, fill them up with road debris, and put them out there.
And there are some safety considerations when you do this. I think you'll go over that when,
Yes.
when you get the materials.
When you pick up your materials.
Okay.
Okay, Somers Volunteer Fire Department Open House.
Open house, yes. Somers Volunteer Fire Department open house, the one in Lincolndale across from the high school, October 6th. Come out and support your volunteers, the people who keep you safe. And also, as a quick side note, I went to the inspection, your annual inspection on Sunday. And of course, Somers FD passed with flying colors, so rest easy at night. Secondly, Support Connection Support a Walk, bringing help and hope to those with breast and ovarian cancer, is going to be held this Sunday, October 7th, at 10 a.m. at FDR State Park, rain or shine. So please come out and support a very worthy cause.
Okay, and just going back to the volunteer open house, that's between 11 a.m., 2 p.m., I don't know if you mentioned that?
Yes, I should have said that.
Okay, so, and this event is, bring the kids,
Yes.
because they get
Jump
a
in.
chance to jump into the trucks and,
Sit behind the wheel.
yep, and last year they had a house that you went into and showed you where smoke detectors should be and where the alarms, when the alarms go off. They demonstrate that.
And that's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
11 a.m.
As
to
you
2
said.
p.m. Okay, blessing of the animals.
Blessing of the animals. All animals are welcome. This Sunday, 10 a.m., October 7th at St. Luke's, right here across the street from the townhouse. Come as you are and let's share our love for all creation. And again, all animals are welcome. It's, they have everything on there, snakes, guinea pigs, frogs. So
Goldfish.
you
I got
got it, you
stink
can bring it.
bugs.
No stink bugs.
All right.
Birds though, too, are
They
included.
they come by themselves.
So that's 10 o'clock
All right,
again
bless
this
the
Sunday.
stink bugs.
Thank you.
That's good.
How about our household recycling drop-off day?
Yes, now generally, this is one of the more popular or widely used events in Somers where you drop off e-waste. In other words, anything that's electronic, computers, wires, appliances, keyboards, monitors, cords, washers, dryers, TVs. And usually that has been, in the spring, it's been at the middle school. But this year, just take note, on November 3rd, which is a Saturday, it will be at the city carting transfer station down Route 100, almost across from the highway department. And there you can drop off all that stuff free of charge. So it's a good thing because it keeps it out of landfills, and some of the parts are recycled into other products. So that's November 3rd at the down at City Carting on Route 100.
Awesome.
Okay. And Town of Somers bulk refuge, is that?
Yeah, in the same vein of garbage, Town of Somers bulk refuse drop-off for Somers residents only. It's going to be Saturday, October 20th to Saturday, November 17th. Their normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 to 4, and Saturday, 7 to 12. It's going to be at the Somers Sanitation Transfer Station on Route 100, across from the Highway Department. In this case, the acceptable items are household items such as mattresses, furniture, carpeting, wood, bicycles, non-commercial construction debris. They'll take propane tanks no larger than $20. That's a $10 extra fee. Refrigerators and air conditioners for a fee. No hazardous or toxic materials or commercial construction materials. It's going to be $25 per car, $30 per minivan, SUV or station wagon, $45 per pickup or small van, and $86 per ton for truck larger than a pickup.
This is a
Wow.
big month for cleanup.
It
in
is.
Somers.
We have one more here.
Yes.
Let's clean up some more stuff.
We continue.
So we continue. This is the first time I've seen this. This is a household recycling drop-off days in 2018. They're going to be in 3 locations. One, September 29th.
Pass.
Yeah, well, that's gone. Okay, October 13th, the week after, I guess, the Support Connection, FDR State Park. And November 3rd, Rye Playland. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Now, listen to this. This is some good stuff here. I mean, everybody wants to get rid of their paint and oil and latex,
Yeah,
right?
right. That's
Instead of just throwing them in the trash and trying to sneak them through,
No, you
right?
can't.
This is
No,
awesome.
no.
Motor oil, compressed gas cylinders, smoke and fire detectors, medical wastes, materials from businesses and school institutions, cell phones and the like. So I guess there's some overlap, but the motor oil and the compressed gas cylinders and the paint and oil, I think is pretty big.
Everybody's got
I
that
think a
stuff in the
shredder,
garage.
they usually have a shredder with that. Did they mention that?
No, I
No?
mean, there's a lot here, I get,
Yeah,
they're
it's-
also talking unused pharmaceuticals and so on, so that's a little bit.
So like a
more-
Dropbox.
Yeah, it's a big
in there,
Dropbox.
too. Yeah, I have a mobile shredder down there, so I believe, and we can check
4
with,
boxes usually.
So this is
call our
the,
office to confirm whether the mobile shredder will be there
Yeah, so-
on October 13th at FDR.
so this is a County of Westchester refuse and recycle, so a lot of the things that we do get sent down there and incinerated, it's probably the same program.
Yeah,
It is.
All right, so good.
Well, the county used
So
to do
October
this and they brought
13th,
it back.
FDR, State Park, I mean, that would be the closest location for us.
okay, I think we have one more out there, the Mental Health Association.
Is that this?
No,
All right,
that's a Chappaqua thing.
I will make this announcement. The Mental Health Association of Westchester is thrilled to present an evening of conversation music with modern.
Oh, that is
Yeah,
that.
Modern Warrior Live.
Oh, okay, it is.
It is that. That
It
is it.
this. I don't know what it is, but it is an evening of conversation and music.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I understand.
Do you know when it is?
It's October 24th.
That's correct. At 6 o'clock.
Where is it?
It is, funny you should ask, at Chappaqua Performing Arts Center at 480 Bedford Road in Chappaqua. So
it's at,
Chappaqua
and it's
is
at
inviting
6
some.
p.m. The doors will open.
And what happens at
Reception with
7:30?
drinks and dinner by the Bite and a silent auction.
You pay by the bite.
Dinner by the bite.
That bite will cost you $2.
And what happens? What happens at 7:30?
At 7:30, there's a performance by apparently Modern Warrior live,
Wow.
not on video, live. And
So those who follow Modern
and
Warrior,
those who know Modern Warrior will know that.
fantastic.
I do not know them, so I'll have to look them up.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's a wrap.
Can I make one more
You
comment?
can certainly.
I just want to congratulate Somers High School for being
Yes.
named a Blue Ribbon School recently by the Department of Education. Well-deserved. It's a great school, so congratulations to all the teachers, staff, administration over there at the high school.
Here, here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is it homecoming tomorrow?
Yes, it's homecoming tomorrow. There was supposed to be a bonfire tonight, it got canceled because of the rain, but the game tomorrow is 7:15 against Greeley,
Against Horace Greeley.
Forest Greeley.
So they're inviting us there for an event, and we're inviting them here for a football game.
There you go. It's all good.
Go
And
Tuskers.
Somers
They
is,
have a
Somers
great
is,
assistant coach.
they do.
Okay, and I'm surprised you're not mentioning the fabulous Yankee win last night in the wild card game.
Look out, Boston, we're coming.
Well,
Knock the socks off.
they're chanting at the stadium
Not
last
me,
night.
headlines to post this
We
morning.
want Boston,
What a
while the
news.
A's are still on the field.
I heard that.
But that's New York for you.
I heard that.
Got to be confident.
Yes, there are some
Okay,
Boston fans in Somers. We're just a very welcoming community.
Yes, we are.
welcome them even though they're here.
So, any other concerns, announcements? Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved, and good night, Somers.